Welcome to A Moment of Xen. Time to sit back and relax as model, actress, mentor, and supermom Xen Sams takes you on a sexy and wild ride, covering the latest in film, fashion, pop culture, politics, and entertainment from the millennial mom's perspective. Here's your host, Xen Sams.
Welcome to the show, my sexy people. Remember to join me right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, every Saturday night from 7 to 8 p.m. or go to 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Xen to watch fully uploaded episodes. Please make sure to follow me on social media at Xen Sams. That is Xen with an X. You can also text the word collaboration or feature me to 917-575-2321. Again, that number is 917-575-2321. Now, next weekend is Mother's Day. If not a mother to remind you guys, then who else? So don't wait last minute. Luxury and designer stores are packed with insane lines on a regular day. Imagine what it's going to be like if you wait too long. Plus, many of you high rollers out there listening to me, I know who you are. She deserves it. The economy is on the cusp of a major boom, and economists believe it could last. The economy is just starting a boom period where second quarter growth could top 10%, and 2021 could be the strongest year since 1984. A period of supercharged growth is just starting, and it's showing up in surging consumer spending and in an increasing shortage of skilled workers, oddly enough. The latest monthly employment report painted an impressive picture. Over the previous month, America created more than 900,000 jobs. Also, a look at high-frequency economic data for more recent weeks on everything from daily restaurant diners to Google search behaviors suggests that since then, the recovery has, if anything, accelerated further. America's post-lockdown boom has begun. So head to Helen Yarmack International, one of my favorite Fifth Avenue showrooms here in the heart of New York City. Incredible selection of fur coats and fine jewelry is definitely going to make her happy. Or what about cosmetic dentistry? A brand new smile is not impossible to achieve, nor as costly as one would think. Dr. Mimi Young helped me get there. Check her out at mydentalspa.net. Now, where will I be on Mother's Day? Well, of course, at Peter G's place. Biche Cucina is located in Midtown, one of my favorite spots. I'll definitely be eating oysters and drinking Bellinis by noon. He's also running for mayor as an independent, might I add. So I love picking his brain about all the changes and all the challenges he tells me New York City is facing and what he plans on doing once he is elected. But if furs and dining don't tickle her fancy or yours, then don't take my word for it. Take Denise Vasi's model, actress, founder, and editor-in-chief of Made. Denise is a major social media beauty and skincare influencer. She's going to be joining me to talk about the coolest Mother's Day gifts that are sure to score you some extra brownie points. And who better than a smart, incredibly talented wife, mother, and entrepreneur to map it all out, but Denise Vasi. We also have Melissa Billie Clark, editor-at-large for Preferred Health magazine and host of the Melissa Billie Clark Show, Making a Difference. She'll be joining us as well. Billions and Kingdom fellow actor and Marvel supervillain Frank Grillo is coming on to talk about his latest projects and how he stays so fit. Have you seen what he looks like? With his newest film, Boss Level, out now on Hulu, Frank Grillo, at 55 years old, cements his status as an action star. But saving lives and kicking ass aren't the only things he's done over the past 30 years. We're going to chat fitness and health with Frank soon. Now, you'll want to stick around for this one. A very important interview coming up next. We are talking about systemic racism within the McDonald's Corporation. KAHARI Nash from Equity for All and McDonald's franchisee owners Daryl and James Byrd will be on. Have you been McFooled? Some food for thought there. We'll be right back with a whopper of a story. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Xen Sams.
One of the world's most recognized fashion designers is Helen Yarmak. She turned a small clothing line to an international fashion brand and is one of the few independent luxury fashion houses in the industry. Her designs for men and women are timeless and they outlast changing trends, yet they stay adaptable to your individual style. Helen's goal for her clients is to express their individual uniqueness and beauty. To learn more about her offerings, visit HelenYarmak.com or to schedule an appointment, call 212-245-0777.
Welcome back to A Moment of Xen on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I am your host, Xen Sams. Before I bring on my next guests, here are some facts and some perspective. In the wake of the BLM movement, McDonald's has released a slew of posts and digital ads on social media, and they are one of the many companies to speak out against systemic racism and express support for the movement for Black lives. Yet new evidence shows that they're the very ones that refuse to adopt corporate policies to back up their claims. After the killing of George Floyd, McDonald's produced a digital ad to honor Floyd and 6 other victims of police brutality, stating that we do not tolerate inequality, injustice, or racism. The ad begs the question, do Black lives really matter to McDonald's when it comes to its own workers? McDonald's actions speak louder than words. The reality is that 80% of McDonald's majority Black and brown workforce don't even have access to paid sick leave. This is dangerous under normal circumstances. During a global pandemic, it's actually deadly. So it's clear that McDonald's cares a lot about attracting Black consumers. And what's also clear is that it will gladly co-opt a global movement to end white supremacy and stop police brutality to pad its bottom line. So as consumers, we must use our power to call McDonald's out and show the company that woke washing won't work. McDonald's workers don't need a marketing campaign telling them McDonald's cares about Black people. They need policies that show it. Now is the time for McDonald's to reckon with its past. The McDonald's Corporation is now being sued by Black current and former franchisees, employees, and executives for decades of racial discrimination. McDonald's has denied their Black franchisees the same opportunities as white operators and continuously steers them to economically depressed and dangerous areas where low volume sales, high rent, and operating costs are basically guaranteeing their failure. McDonald's pretends it's a recruiter and developer of Black talent, but while it's profiting from its Black consumer base, they also maintain a 2-tier system that has sent unsuspecting Black owners on financial suicide missions from which there was ever any real chance of success. Don't be McFooled, says Equity for All founder KAHARI Nash and brothers Daryl and Jim Byrd. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. KAHARI, will you just please tell the public what is really going on here?
There's a lot going on here inside of McDonald's and their systemic racism. They've eradicated over 100 Black McDonald's franchisees between 2010 and 2020. And from a high of 377 in 1998, which is when Daryl Byrd came into the McDonald's franchise system. And so we're just bringing this to the light. We want everybody to know that we created this campaign and movement called "Don't Be McFooled," which will serve the purpose of educating the community, the Black community, as well as all communities, on how McDonald's actually does the systematic racism within the franchise system.
So what you guys are claiming is that within the system that has currently, now this has been going on for not just a few years, but decades, you are claiming that McDonald's is going out of their way to appoint lower performing locations to Black people, essentially, to Black franchisee owners. And the statistics that you have surely prove this. Can you walk us through these statistics? And then I want to introduce the Byrd Brothers.
Yeah. The low volume and high rent stores have equated to an average of $2 million in average gross sales for the Black McDonald's operators, whereas their white counterparts have average $3 million per store. And they have actually grown, and the blacks have actually declined. So you're talking over a 60% decline with the black operators, and then you're talking in double-digit increases with the white operators.
Wow, this is some crazy statistics. That's mind-boggling when you think about it. Can we hear a little bit from James and Daryl Byrd, who are franchisee owners? They went from owning 14 McDonald's to now 4. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you
very much.
Jim Byrd here, and it's a privilege to be on your show. And just real brief, the issue is "Don't be McFooled" is more than just a phrase. It is if you look at across the country, and KAHARI mentioned, if you're white, you do close to 3 million in sales, and if you're black, it's 2 million in sales. So there's almost $1 million in sales difference across the country.
Okay, now
and we're not satisfied with that.
Let's pause. We're as a listener, I'm going to say, okay, well, maybe the lower performing areas, because of the income distribution, are clearly in underprivileged areas. But what you're saying is McDonald's is assigning these locations that are underperforming in general to black franchisee owners versus giving it to the white counterpart. That's what you're saying.
That would be part of it. And these are McDonald's numbers. These are not numbers we're making up. McDonald's Corporation, they actually assign and pick the stores that you're eligible to get. So we don't own the store. We don't own the property. We own the FF&E, as we call it, the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. But across the country, there's $1 million cash flow gap in sales, and we're just not happy about that. Therefore, we filed a class action and representing the current 180 operators, which is a decline of 377 over the past years.
Wow. So you and your brother owned 14 McDonald's across the nation. And then you are now left with 4. Did McDonald's take your 10 other locations away from you?
Yes. Essentially, yes. And then we had some what we call SPODs, special points of distribution, that closed up, mainly in Walmarts that are deemed to be of no value because, McDonald's is getting out of all the Walmarts.
So why did they take them away from? Were they closed permanently, or were they closed and given to a different owner?
So the Walmarts were closed indefinite. I mean, they're just closed up.
Okay.
There's no longer McDonald's in those locations. And I had another hospital store, which is the same way. I had to elect to sell some stores because McDonald's wanted me to relocate the same store I had debt on about a mile down the road, less than a mile down the road in some situations, and then put more money behind bad money. And I could not do that.
Wow. Now point out the things that you try to even out the playing field as a franchisee owner. You went to corporate and you said, hey guys, listen, I'm not surviving. My rates are higher than my white counterpart. You're providing more resources to clearly statistically proven to the white counterpart. And you've pointed this out, not just you, but many franchisee owners. And what was their response?
So in essence, just to get a better picture, in the Nashville field office, there's $140,000 difference in bottom line cash flow.
Wow.
Pick up there.
So Jim was saying.
Line,
so Daryl,
investment.
Perfect time for you to pipe in here. Daryl, what is from the systemic racism in the accounts that you've seen this transpire? You and your brother have a lot of frustrations. What's the one thing you want to tell other franchisee owners about what's happening and transpiring under the hood here?
I would say, I came in, as KAHARI mentioned, in 1998. I was had the opportunity to acquire my first restaurant, and it was in fact one of what Jim called a SPOD, which is a special point of distribution. And this was a gas station / McDonald's, and it was kind of the early days. I was one of the first ones of that experiment or that business model. So as a franchisee, I want to stress that McDonald's owns the property, they own the building, they own the name, you pay for the right to use those names and to use the operating system. So they pick the restaurants, and then they will provide you with projections. And as your franchisor, that's the only thing you have to go on, is the projections that McDonald's gives you. That's part of the system.
Wow.
So my first store was projected at $1.1 million. So you pay fees based upon the projection. My store actually did $700,000. So my first year, I was upside down, if you will, $400,000 based upon the projections. So you start off behind just by not, and you also have higher rents. And it's just not by happenstance. And we didn't know all these years what the issue was until the two McDonald's executives filed a lawsuit and then stated all these different details and facts. And so it solidified what we had been feeling, but we didn't know that we were paying higher fees and that things were different. We were just told to keep on grinding, get back in that grill and work that restaurant. And that's what we would do, but you could never really.
This is something that the public needs to know on a much bigger level. KAHARI, why don't you tell the audience how they could jump on board for franchisee owners currently who own McDonald's that are feeling that there has been levels of systemic racism that they have endured or have witnessed as they've been operating their business. What could they do proactively? Have you set it up where they could reach out to you? Please tell the audience.
Yeah, we established a company called Equity for All. And they can contact us via our cell phones and via email. And we're going to be going around the country and talking to all of them to let them know what their options are. McDonald's is going to offer them things. And
yes, we're running out of time. You're going to have to speed up and tell the audience how they could reach out to you guys. Go ahead. Daryl, please let us know.
Okay, well, it's you can reach out to us. We have a company that's called Equity for All. You'll have all of our website information, all of our contact information. Reach out to us via phone or text, and we'll be very available because we're spreading this message across the country. Amazing.
So you're gonna provide a level of support and advice and consultation as well. And it's not about the money. You just want people to reach out. You heard it right here first on the Moment of Xen. Thank you so much to Daryl Byrd, James Byrd, and to KAHARI. Thank you both. Thank you, all three of you, Jim Byrd, Daryl Byrd, and KAHARI. You guys are amazing bringing this to light. I can't thank you enough. And we're going to make sure that we get the word out. Don't be McFool, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
One of the world's most recognized fashion designers is Helen Yarmak. She turned a small clothing line to an international fashion brand and is one of the few independent luxury fashion houses in the industry. Her designs for men and women are timeless and they outlast changing trends, yet they stay adaptable to your individual style. Helen's goal for her clients is to express their individual uniqueness and beauty. To learn more about her offerings, visit HelenYarmak.com or to schedule an appointment, call 212-245-0777.
Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Xen Sams. Welcoming to the show, we have Frank Grillo. Frank is no stranger to the big screen, from Kingdom to Captain America, or maybe you even know him from Billions. I recently saw him in his latest movie, Boss Level, which premiered on Hulu last month. Welcome to the show, Frank.
Hi. That's a great intro.
Well, you know what? Our audience doesn't have the privilege of being able to see you just yet. For those of you that are listening, Frank is the epitome of health, really. I mean, you look really fit, my friend. What do you do to stay so trained and so on top of it?
I starve. No, I'm kidding. Fitness, health, long before the quote unquote health and fitness craze, which started, I guess, like in the late 80s, early 90s. I was always into being healthy from when I was 9 or 10 years old. And so it has really been a lifestyle from my very earliest age, with diet and with exercise. And it's just kind of paid off for me as I've gotten older. It's and it wasn't, I didn't plan it that way. It was just something I was always interested in. And now people actually are looking to hear what I have to say about getting older and not looking old. So here I am.
Well, he definitely does not look old. And look, you have been in quite a few things. Being in the Marvel Universe series means being in some of the biggest movies in the world. And your character, Crossbones, is on the screen for not as much time as you would think, but yet you have gotten so much love from that role, and you are now a superhero. Tell us a little bit about that character.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great get when the Russo brothers brought me on, and Captain America 2 and Winter Soldier, and I was in the movie a lot as Brock Rumlow, which was the alter ego of Crossbones, and signed a big long contract with Marvel, but the series went the other way. So in the next film, Crossbones, who finally comes out, is literally in the movie for 12 minutes. And but that, believe it or not, that's the power of Marvel. That role really changed my what people knew about me globally, on a global basis, for the first time as an actor. And that's when I realized how important that all was. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes or 12 minutes. If you're in something that reaches the zeitgeist, it's going to change your life. And it certainly has changed my life.
Well, there are no small parts, my friend. Now, in Kingdom, that ran from 2014 to 2017, you played MMA coach Alvi Kulina. Why was that role a game changer for you?
Well, it was the first time where my input was really important. And Byron Velasco, who's a brilliant writer, he brought me a script that I had done Warrior. And so I had lived with a lot of MMA fighters. And I said, look, this is great, but it could be better. Go see Greg Jackson down in New Mexico and see what it's really about. You need to get the authenticity of why people fight and who these guys are. And he did that. And so the whole thing started as a collaboration with him and I. And I was involved in hiring everybody and including the directors. And so for me, it was, to be the lead, the elder statesman on an ensemble like that, and for it to be that good. I mean, again, I've done 48 movies and 22 television shows, but once in a while you hit the one that perfectly aligns you with where you should be at the moment, and that show was it for me. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Netflix, I heard, is to stream all 3 seasons of Kingdom. Is that correct?
They did. They bought it from DirecTV. It's very complicated. There's many moving parts between Endemol, DirecTV, and Netflix. So Netflix bought it for a year, and they paid a lot of money for it, and they've shown it for the past year. Which again, people discovered it for the first time on Netflix. I mean, 100 times greater than they did on DirecTV. So people thought that was a new show. And it's not. It's been around for a while, and it was great. It got a second life, all because of COVID.
Amazing. A lot of things happened because of COVID. A lot of blessings in disguise, I always like to say. Now, all of these roles are very athletic, so clearly you follow a rigorous training and or regiment in terms of what you're eating and how you're exercising, how you're living, bringing you up to the movie Boss Level, where you play former Special Forces agent Roy Pulver, trapped in a time loop, basically, dodging bullets, getting hunted by assassins. Again, another very physical role, incredible movie, very well done on that one, guys. If you haven't seen Boss Level, you definitely should check it out. And Frank Grillo is incredible in it. But tell me what your fitness routine actually looks like on a regular week. What do you do? It
depends if I'm doing a movie or not. But I'm pretty. The key here is consistency. You must always be consistent, and that's with diet. That's with partying. That's with exercise. You got to stay consistent. And so I wake up every day and I go to the gym and I box for, an hour and a half or 2 hours. And inside of that training, my trainer, puts me through a core workout and we'll do some weights. If I'm training for a movie, I'll train strength and conditioning at night, which means I'll lift weights. And for instance, in Boss Level, I trained for 4 months and because we wanted me to look more like a superhero than a normal guy, because the movie is all kind of, mythical. And I trained 4 or 5 hours a day. I ate very strict paleo. I had food prepared for me. I went to bed early at night. And it's like you said earlier, you know, people think it's really glamorous. And like, if you want to be really great at something, you gotta put in the time. It doesn't happen by accident. And you can't stay out all night and have a lot of fun and then think you're going to wake up in the morning and be able to train. And so, you know, what used to be cool, which was staying out late, what's cool now is waking up early and having your whole day in front of you and going to bed at a reasonable hour and sleeping. You know, that's what keeps you young too. Sleep.
You are correct, my friend. I am a mother to a 5.5-year-old, and she's a rooster. She wakes up at the crack of dawn, 5:30 in the morning, jumping on me. And my day starts when she wakes up and doesn't even end till 2 or 3 in the morning at times, but it's consistent. I'm really rigorous about, you know, what I eat. My body is my temple. I'm a big advocate for organic living, wild caught fish, you know, chicken, lean meats, things of that nature. I'm also very pro cannabis and promote a lot of the alternatives, the healthy alternatives. What is your view right now with cancer on the rise, found in almost every aspect of our food chain? What advice do you have to give to our listeners? I mean, at the very least, if people ate organic, that's one step closer. But give us a little bit more insight from your perspective in less than, say, 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. You know, I'm a paleo advocate, but you just brought up a good point about wild caught fish and knowing where your chicken comes from or where your beef comes from, it being grass-fed and organic. I don't think people realize the level of toxicity simply in a farm-raised salmon. And you'd be better off eating dirt than most farm-raised salmon, because the level of toxins in the food that's made for these fish goes into your body. And so I think what people need to do, anybody could say, well, I'm not going to eat carbs. I'm just going to eat proteins. Well, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you live longer. It's not going to help you stay young, because you have to know what the animals fed on. And
absolutely.
That's going in your body.
That's going in your body. And speaking of animals, you have 2 dogs that you recently, 2 little puppies that are not little, they're big. I could hear them in the background, kind of like my little guy, Elvis, who I home cook for. But that's a different conversation. But what I wanted to say is, thank you for coming on, Frank. Your insight is incredible. Your talent is amazing. Those of you who have never heard of Frank Grillo, which is probably impossible, you must check him out. Frank Grillo, one of the biggest stars currently right now. He's a friend of the show. I want to thank Romulus Entertainment for facilitating this interview. And I want to thank you, Frank, for being a supporter of the Moment of Xen.
Yes, always. Thank you so much.
You're listening to A Moment of Xen. I'm your host, Xen Sams, right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this.
If you've missed out dining in New York City for the past year, it's time to visit the legendary Vice Cucina. Located in the heart of Midtown, Vice specializes in blending delicious Northern Italian and American cuisine with dishes such as the incredible taglione lobster, ravioli masala, ossobuco, and pappardelle al telefono, along with many other mouthwatering offerings. You deserve a great night out. Call Vice Cucina, 212-757-2600, or online at vicecucina.com.
Welcome back, beautiful people. You're listening to A Moment of Xen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. I'm your host, Xen Sams. Welcoming to the show now, we have Denise Vasi, founder and editor-in-chief of Made.co. And as a model and actress and a supermom who pays attention to eating well and working out, Denise is totally committed to raising her babies as intentionally and naturally as possible. And her alternative and her beauty secrets are something that has always captivated me on social media, because I do follow her. And if you guys don't follow her, check her out at Denise Vasi. She prepares plant-based clean meals, detoxifies her home. She hangs with her little ones. She makes time for her, and that's very important, moms out there. And she makes it seem so easy. Welcome to the show, beautiful mama.
Thank you. That was an incredible intro. I appreciate that.
Well, you're going to help our listeners and viewers with some great suggestions, because we know Mother's Day is right around the corner. and you're full of incredible ideas. Tell us a little bit about what you have up your sleeve for the mama who needs some me time.
So, number one, moms, number one things, hands down, that every mom wanted this year. I went out, I polled my entire community through social media, through newsletters. Every mother wants a spa day, and this year more than ever. Obviously, 2020 kicked our butts, okay? And every mother wants to just have some time to herself and some time to relax. And as you know and said, I'm a big pusher of self-care. Like, I cannot give you any part of me if I don't give myself 100% of me. So moms want to go out there and go to the spa. Very difficult time to do that. Not everyone's comfortable with that. Not every spa is open. So we want to bring the spa home. So over at Made, we came up with this idea of like, how do you bring the spa home to mom? So we're just going over some of our favorite brands that really will give mom just a little piece of luxury at home in her bedroom. So first and foremost, Biossance skincare. You know, you just said it. I'm a big skincare freak, like totally obsessed. It is part of my self-care. And that is a set that I put together with Biossance. They're a partner of mine. I work with them all year round. And I put 3 of my favorite skincare products in a bundle. And it's the retexturized bouncy skincare set. You're going to get 3 items. It's 40% off. It values at $111, and we're selling it for $66. These are clean, non-toxic skincare products that are EWG rated. This is a company that no matter what else I try, like my job is to go out there and try a ton of products and share what I love with people. This company I always end up coming back to. And these 3 products are part of my nighttime or daytime routine. And you're going to get the Omega Repair Cream, which is a super hydrated, high lipid face cream. So that's what gives you that bouncy glow that everyone loves to have. And that's a cream that I use you can use it day and night. I use it mostly in the day during the winter and day and night during the summer. You'll also get their lactic acid resurfacing serum. And what that does is that gives you smooth texture to your skin. So if you ever, and it's not everyone deals with it all the time, but sometimes you have those mornings where you wake up and you're like, oh, like I've got those little bumps on my skin, and you just feel a little tired. This is so gentle. It's got 10% vegan lactic acid, and it's super gentle that you can use it every night. And it just completely resurfaces your skin. And then it is also included is the Biossance Vitamin C Rose Oil. I call this the first love of my Biossance life, because this is the first product that really put me on to the brand. And have you tried any of these?
I have not tried any of these, but as you are describing them to me, I'm literally thinking to myself, my skin is very dry. I spend not as much time as I should taking care of myself, because having a 5.5-year-old, a very active husband like yourself, who is my husband is a producer, your husband's a director, but like you said, they're in and out very quickly, and we're left with just a lot of the load, especially now during the pandemic. We feel it more than ever now, especially working moms. So my skin has been suffering, and I wanted to ask you, and I don't want to interject in your pitch because it was so good. It was like I was just literally thinking to myself, this is better than Sephora. Because you know why? It's the organic stuff. Yes, vitamin C rose oil. Tell me about that.
This vitamin C rose oil just like absolutely brings your skin to life. It has their magic vegan squalane is their magic like key ingredient, and this just kind of seals in and locks in all that moisture. But it's also super light. Like, I was one of those people who really was afraid of putting oils on my face because it would clog my face. This does not do that. It's super lightweight, and it's just a very beautiful product. So my number one item on my gift list is this skincare bundle. People love to give and get skincare for Mother's Day. This is a great opportunity to give a beautiful gift. And also it's a great opportunity to buy something for yourself, right? Because I feel like whenever you're shopping, you always, whether it's Christmas or you're out shopping for somebody's birthday, you're always picking up something for yourself. So this is a nice little set that you can also get to be introduced to this brand. There's somebody that I really, really stand behind, and they do beautiful work also for the ocean.
Beautiful. Now, tell us if you want to, if you're a mom who doesn't really like to leave the kitchen and you want to kind of stay in your environment, you're really not into as much skincare products as your other female counterparts, and you're all about, you know, your kitchen is your oasis. What gifts do you have in store for that mom?
That will be the Always Pan. So the Always Pan from our place is game changer. First of all, when I got mine, I told my husband he was not allowed to play with it. He was not allowed to cook anything in it. This is like the holy grail pan. It is a pan that was created to minimize all the stuff in your kitchen. It does everything that all the other pans do. So you can saute in it, you can steam in it, you can stir fry. It is 8-in-1 pans. They come in these beautiful colors. The one that I have is rose. It is non-toxic, non-stick. So that is really important to me. And obviously everything that we cover over on my site Made, everything is about clean, non-toxic ingredients or products. And this pan is so good. Wait, then Anthony went out and bought his own.
Are you kidding? I was going to ask you about that. So I was going to piggyback off the pan. Could it go in the dishwasher?
I wouldn't put it in the dishwasher. It's super easy to clean. You just literally just wipe it off.
Oh, the reason I ask is not because I'm going to put it in the dishwasher, Denise, but of course, you know, the guys are going to put it in the dishwasher. So I just want to.
Only I could get him to put anything in the dishwasher. My problem is my husband won't even take it those 4 inches extra. He's got to put it right in the sink for me. But it's super easy to you just wipe it down. It's non-stick. They come in these incredible colors. There's an amazing red one that's going to be next on my list for another place that we have in New York. And literally, it's so good. My husband went out and bought his own charcoal one because I was like, do not touch my pan. I do not want you to ruin it.
You are so funny.
It's a great gift. It's a great gift. Even Mother's Day, it's a great gift for a single girlfriend. It just really is it's the only thing I use in the kitchen. It just simplifies life. And everything right now is about simplifying life.
And also looks pretty because they do come in very cute colors.
And they're beautiful. That rose, have you seen it? Has this beautiful rose, charcoal, red, like a deep navy color. Incredible.
And for those of you just tuning in, you're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR. We're talking with Denise Vasi. She is the founder and editor for Made.co, and she has the most incredible gift ideas for Mother's Day. We're running through them right now. We just finished talking about the beautiful pans that she has going up there. And guys, they don't go in the microwave. You actually have to put some effort. Now, let's move on to the next one. What about the mama who I know you're all about these celery juice challenges. For those of you that don't follow her, please go to check out her social media. You can check out her little guy. He loves celery juice. Okay, how old is your son?
My son is going to be 2. He's like 22 months.
22 months. And what's his full name?
Dries.
Dries. Okay, so Dries, guys, I watched this cutest little boy drink these celery juices, and she literally hands the juice, and the kid thinks it's like the sweetest, tastiest thing ever. What do you put in that stuff? And let's use that as the mama who rocked the celery juice challenge. What gifts do you have in store for those moms?
So my son loves the celery juice every morning. It's kind of crazy. So I do just the pure celery juice. For him, I put in a little apple, some lemon, if I have some pineapple right now, to just kind of cut it and make it not so potent, because it is a very particular taste. But he loves the green juice. Both of my kids do. So in terms of what's next up on the list, I've got this little stag tea kettle that basically is so pretty. It's, again, we're kind of sticking in this rose colored theme for Mother's Day, but they come in other colors. You put them right on the little plate, and it's a quick, like super easy tea kettle for moms who love tea, who are really into detoxing, or if your mom's a super health freak, or she just loves tea. So easy. She can keep it on her desk. She can keep it in the kitchen. And it's also just cute.
And it looks cute. And it's not like one of those, old looking, ugly metal.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice
beautiful,
piece.
modern. It's has all the latest technology. There's no like sitting and waiting for the kettle to whistle. It's the updated version of For the Tea Lover.
That's right. This is the digital process. Us millennial moms are definitely rocking these new digital devices, even tea kettles. Okay, so Denise, what about is that the whole or is that your recommendation for the kitchen, or there's more kitchen items? Because we have the pot, we have the pans and the tea kettle. What else do we have?
That's for the mom in the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yes. Then you want to move to the fashionista mom?
We can do the fashionista mom or the mom who's a traditionalist. You tell me.
So for like a mom who's a traditionalist, that's more of a mom who wants something sentimental. So head over to Etsy, send over a piece of art, have it framed. Take a photo, an old photo. How about a photo of you and mom when you were little? Or if it's an auntie or somebody who's a mother figure for you, because let's not forget that sometimes we want to celebrate Mother's Day and it might not be for the title of a mom. It might be a mother figure. It might be your dad who like stepped in and was your mom and your dad, right? So those are beautiful kind of sentimental gifts. And so what you want to give them is something that they're going to cherish forever. So maybe a piece of artwork that's framed, like something you did as a child, or maybe it's your child. Maybe like I'll often give art, I don't know about you, but I have so much art. I don't know what to do with my kids.
Oh,
right?
Can I tell you real quick? I found a company called Archive. Big shout out to Archive there, where I just basically throw every single thing she's done over the last year in a box, and they make a coffee table. And then they can either send you back the pieces or you can trash them. I have very sadly trashed mine. That's a mommy shame right there, because I have so much junk laying around in general, like bags and bags and bags. So I was like, that's it. We're going to get rid of all the art and put it in a book. And Alexa said to me, where's the original? I said, what do you mean, where's the original? I created a book for you.
Only your girl. Only where's the original? I was like, that's going to be worth something. No, it's true. Like, you're sitting on top of the trash and you're weighing out this is kind of cute. This is you know what I do? I frame it and I send it to family. You can send stuff off. There's great people on Etsy who do these beautiful like shadow boxes with things. And then grandma gets a Mother's Day gift from, her little girl.
Oh, that's a great idea. All right. Well, we have about a minute and a half left. So what about that fashionista mom?
So for the fashionista mom, like we're going to go a little bigger budget, okay, and go for a Celine trio bag. Right now, I'm really digging the mint. As you probably know yourself, greens and all kinds of shades of greens are really in fashion this season. And so we'll go with the mint Celine trio bag. What I love about this bag, besides that it is buttery soft, is that it is a crossover bag, or you can wear it as a shoulder bag. You can also tuck the strap inside and hold it like a clutch. It is a great on-the-go mom kind of bag as well, because it's just the right size to fit in all of the things you need. You could fit a diaper. You could fit one diaper in a thin little pack of wipes. And it's got 3 little pouches. So it's my favorite travel bag, because let's say I want to put my passports in a place that's safe, and I'm only going in there when I need my passports. And then in the middle one, I might put my wallet. And then the last one, I might have like a diaper or and some wipes. And then when I'm out on the run with the kids, the grocery store, it's just super easy, because I think we used to, like when you first become a mom, you take out the big bag and you're like carrying all the things. And then you realize, like, I just need the basics. I need like stick a pacifier, a diaper, and some wipes, and keep it moving. So it's a bit of a splurge. So if you're looking for a splurgy gift, it's a beautiful fashion kind of trendy bag. It's actually not trendy. It never goes out of style. to be honest. I'm still rocking. I just traveled for a little bit, and I was rocking my hot pink one that I bought probably like 5 years ago. They really last and stay in good condition.
That's great. So you've given us so much information here. I could just have you on for another segment at this point, and we're definitely going to have you on again. You guys are listening to Denise Vasi. Please do check out her website. It's called made.co, so maed.co, filled with incredible insight, alternatives to the regular, to your regular run of the mill kind of products that you see out there. She's all about organic, natural, plant-based, going green, very well thought out. Denise, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been such a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so much. You can head over to Made for those gift guides. I also want to just mention all of that, but also like still being a hot, sexy mom.
Absolutely. And she is a hot, sexy mom, former actress and even model, back in the day, and you still model and you're still gorgeous and beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the show. You're listening to A Moment of Zen. I'm your host, Xen Sams, right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back.
One of the world's most recognized fashion designers is Helen Yarmak. She turned a small clothing line to an international fashion brand and is one of the few independent luxury fashion houses in the industry. Her designs for men and women are timeless and they outlast changing trends, yet they stay adaptable to your individual style. Helen's goal for her clients is to express their individual uniqueness and beauty. To learn more about her offerings, visit HelenYarmak.com or to schedule an appointment, call 212-245-0777.
Welcome back to A Moment of Zen. I'm your host, Xen Sams, on 710 WOR. The one thing that I often aim to keep consistent is highlighting at least one woman who embodies the strength, charisma, and determination of all her sisters and deserves to be highlighted. Someone who is doing amazing things in her own right. Our next guest is Melissa Billie Clark. She's an author, an editor-at-large for Preferred Health magazine, and Melissa's focus is on positive journalism. You can find her work in publications such as Preferred Health, Pet Lifestyles. She's also a host on Talent Recap. It's very popular on YouTube. And she's also the host of the popular syndicated show, Making a Difference. Welcome to the show, Melissa.
Thank you, Zen, so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you have interviewed a lot of famous celebrities, and some of the interviews that you've done have been pretty exceptional. One of the, I was reading, you interviewed Deepak Chopra. How did that turn out? I mean, he's amazing.
I was very nervous because I've been studying him from afar for about 15 years now, him and Dr. Wayne Dwyer. So I was able to interview Dr. Chopra. It was intimidating, but it was one of the most magical interviews that I've ever had in my life. And I'm so grateful for it. He's a very kind person.
That's amazing. And when you interview so many people, what's been the highlight of some of the interviews that you've done? Like, who is the coolest person you've interviewed?
You know what? I would say Michael Kutcher. Michael Kutcher is Ashton Kutcher's twin brother, and he is so kind, so humble. He has cerebral palsy, and he battles a lot of disabilities, as he calls it. And we had a really great moment on my program, so I really enjoyed interviewing him. He's an inspiration, and I'm so grateful to have had him on our program.
That's great. Now, your journey started basically with losing your father in 2015, right?
Yes.
Cardiovascular failure, and
yes.
then you lost your mom, kind of back to back.
Yes.
But your mother made a promise to you on her deathbed. And I remember you telling me this, and it was really touching. Do you mind sharing that with the audience?
Yeah, sure. I have chills right now. I always love to talk about my parents, and I thank you so much for allowing me to have this moment. My father died in 2015 of a quick heart attack, and then 4 months later, she developed stage 4 lung cancer. They just couldn't live without one another. So she died 18 months on the bed here, and I said, "What am I going to do without you?" And she goes, "Don't you worry. I'm going to take care of you on the other side." And she did. 4 months later, I became a published writer. You know, and it was, I would do it all over again. You know, I had a hospice doctor on my program, Dr. Christopher Kerr, and he is the chief medical officer at Buffalo Hospice. And that was actually another great interview that I did because it was very personal. You know, when somebody's laying on their deathbed, it's a moment of truth. It's a moment of being alive. And, you know, part of me died when she died. And the woman was reborn. So I was, you know, I miss her. I love her. Grief is very hard, but this is life. So I know that you're always with me. So
you know what? I can relate. Losing a parent is not easy. I lost my dad in 2015, the year Alexa was born. And it was a bittersweet year for me. And he made a similar promise to me. I remember he was we lost him twice that day. Once was on the side of the road. He had terminal lung cancer and he was lacking oxygen, and he died on the side of the road. I gave him mouth to mouth. I resuscitated him. I got him back. I got him into an ambulance, rushed him to the hospital. He ended up dying 12 hours later, but at least with his family by his bedside. But the promise he said to me was that I'm going to speak to you every day. I'm going to make sure that you are always taken care of. And I promise you the next year is going to be your year. And in 2017, my career took off. It just went from 0 to 60 overnight. So I know what it's like for those promises. And there's people that are listening probably thinking, okay, these two whack jobs talking about the afterlife. But you know what? No, that is what gets me through my day. And so I know that you're very close and probably still speak to your mom
all the times, and she's with me right now. I smell cigarettes sometimes. She was a big heavy smoker and she died from lung cancer.
Stop right now. Wait, stop. She was a heavy smoker. My father died from aggressive lung cancer. He smoked 2 packs a day. Every time I smell cigarettes in the room, I know he's here. Melissa, you have to be kidding me.
I'm not kidding you. I smell cigarettes and I know that that's her. So there's always that scent. Even like my father, I could smell like his body odor still. It was bad. It was beautiful, but like that dad smell. So yeah,
that's crazy. I
knew we had more in common.
I have chills. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So yes, he comes and he visits me, and I can smell him. I can smell the cigarettes. He also used to drink Greek coffee, very potent. And it was like every morning it was like a cup of coffee and a cigarettes. And I remember thinking it was such a disgusting combination. But you know, look, unfortunately, he did it to himself. He knew that smoking 2 packs a day was eventually going to take his life, and it did. Yeah. But he will always be next to me. And he's, I think, just like you, I think that commonality of having a parent just kind of live alongside you, even from the afterlife, and just being able to connect with them is so important. So thank you so much for sharing this. This has been an incredible interview. Every time you come on, I get chills or cry. So now I'm going to have to come on to your show and cry and get chills.
Yes, we're going to have you on, and you're going to be featured in Preferred Health Magazine, this summer's edition. We're so excited to have you part of the family.
I didn't even know that. Thank you.
We're so excited to have you. And you'll be on Making a Difference. So thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Well, you heard it first right here, guys, on the Moment of Xen. That's Melissa Billie Clark. I will be featured in Preferred Health Magazine this summer. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Xen Sams. You're listening to A Moment of Xen on 710 WOR. Melissa, thank you so much.
Thank you, Xen. Thank you.
A Moment of Xen is brought to you by Romulus Entertainment and Independent Film Company in a partnership with Paramount. 2 of their films, Dreamland, starring Margot Robbie and Finn Cole, tells the story of a teenager and his quest to capture a fugitive bank robber, only to discover she's far more than what she seems. And Jungle Land, about a fighter and his brother as they travel the country for one last fight, and the companion that exposes cracks in their relationship. Both Jungle Land and Dreamland are available on various platforms and streaming services.
Well, that's a wrap, my friends. Thanks to our amazing guests, Frank Grillo, Melissa Billie Clark, Denise Vasi, the Byrd Brothers, and KAHARI NASH. And thank you for being loyal listeners. Text collaboration to 917-575-2321. Again, that number is 917-575-2321. For those of you who are listening and want to see me, you can watch the full show at 710WOR.iHeart.com/A Moment of Xen. Remember to tune back in next Saturday night at 7 p.m. I promise to have more amazing and exciting guests. Thank you for listening to A Moment of Zen. It has been an absolute pleasure being your host. Thank you to all of our sponsors, Romulus Entertainment, Biche Cucina, and Helen Yarmack International. Till next week, and remember, happiness is the only thing that multiplies when you share it.